In today's video, I'm going to talk about side hustle number one. Side hustle number one, as you saw previously, is how to make money with your car. So it's easy to say, hey guys, drive DoorDash, Lyft, Uber Eats, Uber, things like that to actually make money with your car. But I'm actually going to take it a little bit further. Anybody knows that that's a side hustle. Anybody knows that you can make money with that right now. But I'm going to teach you something that you probably never thought about. So in my time management video, I talk about how everybody has 168 hours a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of that, if you have a job, you probably work 50 to 60 hours at your job. Maybe it's 40 hours, but when you take into account your lunch, getting ready before work, driving to work, and driving home from work, if you actually go to work, it's going to take about 60 hours a week. And then you're going to sleep about 50 to 55 hours a week. So you only have between 2 to 4 hours a day of personal time. So you think to yourself, how am I going to actually have a side hustle in that 2 to 4 hours? Well, what if I told you that if you actually left for work a half hour earlier, that you'd actually have 1 hour worth of driving that you could do on your way to work? What if I told you that on your way home from work, if you actually worked that extra half hour, that would give you 1 hour's worth of work where you normally would have a half hour drive home? Let's talk about the simple math of that. Let's say you did one delivery in the morning of either a person, a product, or an Amazon Flex, and they delivered a person, a meal, or an Amazon Flex shipment after work. That means that you had 2 deliveries a day. If you average $15 to $20 per delivery between earnings and actual tip, let's just go on the low end and say $15. That $15 twice a day is $30. That $30 over 30 days is $900 a month. And that $900 a month could be tax-free. Let me explain. You get 65 cents a mile as a deduction from the IRS. It is a legally allowed tax deduction. So because you're driving to work, you're actually earning income. So for that time of making the delivery, let's hypothetically say it's 100 miles a day. 100 miles a day is a $65 deduction on your $30 of income. You actually lost money on your tax return, which means when you file your Schedule C on line item number 17, at least it used to be line item number 17. I haven't looked at the tax returns on a personal return in a long time. You would actually have earned $900 a month, but show a loss on your tax returns of $1,500 a month because the IRS knows about depreciation in your car actually needing repairs and oil changes and things like that. So they allow this tax deduction. So if your loss is greater than your gains, not only is your income technically free, but you could also get a bigger federal tax return, possibly a state return as well, depending on which state you live in. Please check with your accountant and check with the IRS for all things that are related to taxes. I am not a tax expert, and I do know logic. And if you actually use your car as a side hustle, you do get mileage as a deduction. That part I know for sure. How it would relate to your personal tax returns, you should see an accountant for sure. But side hustle number one, using your car to make income. That extra half hour before work, that extra half hour after work is $900 a month approximately and projectingly, which is $10,000 a year. If you make $50,000, now you just made $60,000, which is a 20% increase. You want to get out of debt? You want to start more side hustles? That is a fantastic way to start. With that being said, you could also be at work and rent your car out with Turo, or you might go away somewhere, be able to rent your car out with Turo. Maybe you actually live in an area where you don't need your car so much, so you can rent your car out with Turo. You can make $30 to $80 a day renting your car out. And believe it or not, that side hustle can turn into a major league hustle. I know someone who actually bought 10 cars at $500 a month payment, $5,000 a month payments. Didn't buy them all at once, bought them one at a time. Takes those cars, puts them at high volume airports like Chicago and Atlanta. And he rents them out just like he's a budget rent-a-car, just like he's an enterprise rent-a-car, because Turo does the renting for him. People that land pick the car in advance. He has the keys and the codes waiting for them. And he makes between $30 and $80 a day, which means that he's spending $500 on a car payment, making between $2,000 and $3,000 of income. 10 cars is $5,000 of payments, $20,000 to $30,000 of income. You can literally build your own rental car business through Turo and put them at airports all across the country. That is a phenomenal way to take that side hustle and make it a full-time hustle using your credit, which means at the end of your 5 or 6 years of car payments, you have a free and clear car that you can either trade in or sell. Enterprise Rent-A-Car sells more cars than almost any dealership in the country. Why? Because they've got millions of cars and millions of locations, bigger than any one dealer. When they get done with the car, they sell them, usually for a profit. So long story short, you could take your one car, put it at the airport, and make a significant amount of money because travelers need rental cars. And Turo is getting nothing but bigger and bigger, just like Airbnb. By the way, I'm not telling you what to do, and just like any investment, there's risk involved. You could have a $500 car payment. Someone could destroy your car. You didn't have it properly insured or insured for other drivers. Next thing you know, you don't have a car anymore. That can happen. So make sure you do your due diligence and you read all the fine print. However, I have never known anyone who's lost money from Turo. Turo is the individual car market, just like Airbnb is for the house market. You can own a car, and Turo will let you list your car and other people will rent it, and you'll get a big percentage of the money. Turo is a marketplace that matches people looking for cars and people that have cars. So let me tell you what one of my Joey Matterhorn members did. And I say Joey Matterhorn members because I actually have a membership for you if you need some software. But I gave this person the idea that I'm going to give to you. Did you know that Carvana and Car Gurus and places like that will actually make you a cash offer for a car? So what this person did is they said, you know what, I'm going to go on Craigslist and I'm going to go on Facebook Marketplace and I'm going to find cars for sale. Now I'm going to take what people want, what Carvana and Car Gurus will pay for that car, and I'm going to see if there's a spread profit in there. The problem was that there's a lot of people actually looking for cars right now. So because of that, they hardly got any responses. So he got really creative. He started to run ads in Facebook Marketplace saying, I'd pay cash for cars. Message me and let's talk. For $25, he was getting about 10 messages a day. And people would message them pictures of the car and all the information about it. Went to Carvana and found a $3,000 car that Carvana was willing to give $5,000 for. And he told me that he bought the car for $3,000 and sold it to Carvana for $5,000. And that was a nice $2,000 profit, of which it only cost him $3,000 out of pocket for one day because Carvana gave him the money as soon as they came to pick up the car. Now, conversely, there is a risk. What if Carvana comes and says that they don't want the car? Well, then you have an issue. However, if you bought a car that's actually even remotely decent, let me show you how to leverage your money. You take that $3,000 car and you go onto Facebook Marketplace and you sell it for $1,000 down and $75 a week. You now become a buy here, pay here finance company. So $1,000 down and $75 a week means that you get about $3,800 of payments if people make their payment on time. So that $1,000 plus $3,800 is $4,800. Do you know how many investments in the world you can actually spend $3,000 and make $4,800 on? Not very many. However, that rate of return can compound and you can buy car after car as you build up your cash flow. So way number 3 to make money in the auto space is to run ads on Facebook Marketplace asking people, hey, I'll buy your car from you for cash. And you will have all kinds of people. You get some jalopies for $500 to $1,000. He once bought a car for $500 and sold it for parts for $800. Had the parts sold before he ever bought the car. Check the junkyards and the auto repair places that were actually buying those types of parts. Older cars have things like catalytic converters that sell for a lot of money. A lot of people don't know. So buyer beware, you can actually buy a car and make a significant profit using the ignorance of the average person. Now listen, you could be one of two types of people. You can tell somebody, hey, that $500 car is worth $1,500, and then they're going to want $1,600 for it. Or you could say, you know what, there's no licensing involved. My fiduciary responsibility is to myself. And if they're willing to pay $500 for it, you can say, you know what, I tell you what, I don't think it's worth it, but I'll give you the $500 and then sell it. You have to decide what's more important to you. I don't think there's anything unethical. Someone saying that they want $500 for their car, you saying sure. You have no obligation to tell them that you're buying it under value. As a matter of fact, I tell people all the time in my negotiations, listen, I have to make a profit on this, so I have to buy it right from you. Some people say they don't care. Why should I let you make the profit? Well, you've obviously tried to sell it. No one else is buying. So I'm here to offer a solution to your problem and give you what you're asking. So yeah, if you give me a little bit of a discount and allow me to make money, this transaction will go a little bit smoother. You have to decide what's most important for you. I don't want anyone coming back on me saying, hey, you swindled me and I know where you live now because I brought the car there and I found out how much it sold for. And oh my gosh, am I mad? Just be upfront with them. It'll save you a lot of headache and people will still sell to you because they'll appreciate your honesty. So if you want to actually make money with side hustle number 1, click the link above, fill out your information, and we'll connect you with Lyft, Uber, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, Amazon Flex, Instacart, connect you with Turo. For more information on side hustle number 1, simply click on the link in the description or go to joeymatterhorn.com and click on side hustles.